pre-programming your children to have a taste for those things that are going to put on the most weight. You don't want that. You want to give them a taste for the good things. Fruits, vegetables, carrot sticks are healthy and sweet. Cucumber sticks, fresh fruits like apples, bananas, oranges. These are all excellent snacks that can be put in any lunch kit. Water should be the basis of any lunch kit, not juice and empty calorie snacks.
Children are growing up with a lot of dedication, a lot of love from their parents that like just to transmit their love, to give them something sweet, and this is bad. Soft drink containing a lot of sugar and a lot of salt also, because that's what is in the soft drink, make children develop obesity, and an obese child will be an obese adult. It's quite sure. What could be done is just to prepare something nice for their children, like as fruit juice made from fresh fruit, not the fruit juice bought in the supermarket, but made from fresh fruit, and to somehow avoid any things that can be too sweet. Doesn't mean that sweet are bad. We need sugar, but not in excess.
The answer is diet and exercise. If you don't know how to eat properly, if you just keep putting on weight, you're not eating right. And the next thing to do is to learn how to eat properly. Learn what exercise. And the exercise can be as little as 2.5 hours of brisk walking every week. No expensive gym memberships, no fancy exercises, but you should be doing some form of exercise at least 150 minutes a week. Eating well. So these are simple things that anybody can do.
I've been on the field for many years in Martinique, and I'm used to travel a lot. What I would say is that we have high-level equipment. We have high-level skill in some parts of medical and surgical management, but I believe that in other parts of the Caribbean it's the same. So the question is to know exactly who is doing things, where is the best center for open heart surgery, or for breast cancer surgery, or for radiotherapy, or for gynecologic problem, or whatever. Martinique is part of CARICOM now. I believe that within the next few years, maybe we could have some more, we could have some contact and increasing contact with our colleagues, doctors and surgeons, in order to better connect, and hopefully we can do a lot of things and improve the quality of care into the Caribbean area.
Thank you, Dr. Lucron, and to all the other doctors who share their valuable time with us. In this program, we have just touched on a few issues pertaining to pediatrics, and Caribbean Medical will continue to focus on the development and proper care of children in future programs.
As we close, remember, prevention is key. Our ongoing aim is to share as much information with Caribbean people of all walks of life on how we can handle the particular health issues that affect us on a daily basis, how to prevent and recognize certain illnesses with the help of our Caribbean medical professionals. We have looked at medical procedures, myths, treatment, plus the historical and social factors involved with these diseases. And I want to take this opportunity to thank you so much for sharing your time with us on Caribbean Medical.
watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, residents on Grand Bahama weighing in on the government's supplementary budget. Also, the Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister wrapping up an assessment tour on Grand Bahama. And ZNS commemorating 31 years in television here in the Northern Bahamas. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, the Honorable Miles Larota, completing day 2 of his assessment tour of organizations within his portfolio. The minister visiting the offices of the National Emergency Management Agency, the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, and National Insurance. Staff members say they are looking forward to continued dialogue for the betterment of their respective organizations. Megan Shepard reports.
Minister of State with responsibility for the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, the Honorable Miles Larota, along with a delegation, touring infrastructure and sites that fall within that portfolio. While on Grand Bahama recently, the minister was able to get an update on the progress being made on the island by the DRA.
I'm advised there were cleanups, that there were solar street lights, and so the DRA is present. As an agency, you know, Dorian was one of those anomalies, that superstorm that you're not going to get everything right, but there are hard-working people there. The desire is there, the passion is there for there to be moving forward. Better coordination. We learn from our mistakes, and I'm sure the DRA would be better served, heaven forbid, if there is another storm, that the coordination and the execution of the preparedness and also the reconstruction recovery be better.
However, Minister Larota adds that he met with local councillors that raised some concerns as it relates to the DRA.
I've been advised that with regards to DRA and the local consulate, that there were resources that may have been misdirected in their view, that the DRA would have been better served if they would have communicated with the local council here to find out exactly what was needed.
Now, Minister Larota also toured a number of schools in East Grand Bahama, all of which were destroyed by Hurricane Dorian.
We toured the junior high in McLeanstown. We toured the primary school in High Rock. We toured a clinic also in High Rock. We toured the site where the debris from Dorian was, and now we had the preschool in Freetown. I'm advised that there are plans for an amalgamation of school at the site where the schools from those various communities, Sweeten Key, McLeanstown, High Rock, and Freetown, would be built, an all-purpose building that will raise to the height that during the eventuality of a storm, we don't have issues where people don't be able to use the bathrooms.
And as to when residents can expect construction for the new comprehensive school to begin,
I don't want to give a timeline. That decision will be made by Cabinet. We are tight on resources. That don't mean that this government don't take the education of its kids, its children, as a high priority. And so this is my first time here in Grand Bahama, the East End area, assessing what's going on. I will go back and brief my Cabinet colleagues. And when I come back, probably in another month or two, I may be in a better position to say what the government position is going forward.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, Minister Larota sharing this update as it relates to NIB following a meeting with the local senior manager.
Discuss some of the challenges of the National Insurance Board, in particular, the state of the fiscal building, the facilities, of which I'm advised that has been out of commission from September of 2019 until March of this year. That's a very long time to be working from cramped up substitute facilities. She's made her concerns known that there is a lot of work to be done in terms of repairs. And once we have our board in place, the chairman has been named, the boards will be completed probably sometime today. And so I will meet with the chairman and also with the managing director with a view of seeing how quick we could bring relief to the almost 60+ staff members who work for the National Insurance Board.
Well, Senior Manager Sophia Carey says that they are all pleased that the minister found it important to visit with the staff. She says they are looking forward to continued dialogue for the betterment of that organization.
Staff again feels, really a sense of excitement because they have now where they would have met our minister. He's assured us that he's going to be back to see us in another 2 to 3 weeks. And again, we can sit and have dialogues with him. So really, the staff is hopeful and we're excited about his meeting today, okay? It's evident that the concern for the team is there because he wanted to really find out exactly how the team is doing, what are some of the concerns, our condition that we're in, and again, it's kind of obvious what we're dealing with. And so that in itself, the concerns that, he's expressed that, and how moving forward, we're going to basically be able to sit with him and have an excellent dialogue.
In other news, the nation will soon see changes in the value-added tax structure. This was one of the changes recently announced by the Prime Minister during his supplementary budget presentation on Wednesday. In this report, residents say that they welcome the move. Italia Hall reports.
From 12 to 10%. Any reduction is good for us.
During the government's supplementary budget statement this week, the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, noted that as early as the beginning of next year, value-added tax will be decreased from 12% to 10%. While our ZNS News team spoke with some residents on Grand Bahama about the recent announcement, and most say it is a good move for the country.
I think it's a good step in the right direction, and I think that if everybody gets on board with it and we can find other ways of getting back the 2% that we're losing right now, that would be a good thing. It's just that we have to come up with a budget and a way to bring everything back into line again.
I have a lot of tourism here, and they're going to enjoy the reduction.
It's helpful for the general consumer for the reduction in VAT. However, I haven't had the opportunity to fully assess adding it to the bread basket items, so there has to be a balancing act. I would think it's more critical to have left the VAT off of the bread basket items and look at reducing some other matters.
Now, while value-added tax will be reduced, it will be added to bread basket items, which was previously zero-rated. Here's what residents had to say on the proposed change.
What they need to do is to look at gasoline and propane and monitor stuff like that rather than grocery items.
When you take it across the board, it's got to be better for the Bahamians in general.
Could be where, some people who are maybe already struggling to pay it, and then they put it onto these items that, a lot of people, that's the ones they can afford, the rice, the bread, and all those, basic items. That could be, a little bit more problematic for those who may not be able to afford it. But I also think it's still a good idea in general to reduce the VAT because it's, pretty high for, especially now, under these conditions that we're living, the COVID, the Dorian and everything. So it could be beneficial, hopefully in the long run.
But the good news is, come December 1st, 2021, there will be an increase in public service pension payments. This group includes retired teachers, nurses, doctors, police officers, correction officers, and retired clerical and administrative staff.
Other folks like my wife and they, I think they deserve it. She's the way for government. I think they deserve it. Huh? I mean, you think a pension should be going on for years and years and years, and they keep on borrowing and borrowing and borrowing, and sometimes you even see where the money going. You don't think it's time? You might as well get some of the to retire some.
I think that's an excellent move. I think that's something that is long overdue. David Wood, there's been the increase in the cost of living over the years, so an opportunity to add to those persons was extremely helpful.
Now, the proposed reduction in VAT from 12% to 10% is expected to take effect in January of 2022. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, as more food items are becoming scarce because of a supply chain shortage across the globe. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, there is currently no nationwide shortages of food, although in some cases the inventory of certain foods at local grocery stores might be temporarily low before stores can restock. Tonight, a local business owner shares what she thinks the country should expect in terms of food products and availability. Megan Shepard reports.
Global supply chain issues have been dominating international headlines and social media posts, raising concerns locally about possible food shortages in the country. Business owner Johnny Smith says that at the present time, she is unsure on whether or not Bahamians should be overly worried or whether they will need to change their demands. To this end, she says that Bahamians have become accustomed to certain brands and products, and she believes that now is the time to take food production more seriously.
In the last, I would say, 10 to 15 years, Bahamians have gravitated to a lot of processed products, a lot of what we call name brand products. Those are going to be restricted. We're going to have to go back to basics.
Noting that the Bahamas is not a producing country, Smith says she is advising Bahamians to stock up, but not to hoard. Looking on the bright side, she adds that this may just be the push for Bahamians to step back from processed foods and pick back up food from nature.
For me, the meat and produce market, I feel that we're going to always have meat products, at least the basics. Such as, the chicken, the pork, and whatnot. But we also have another store, Chum Bucket. We're always going to have the seafood. But again, Bahamians, I'm going to encourage them to, try to focus on what's locally available. Try to make contact with our local producers, our local suppliers.
And as to what all of this could mean in terms of prices.
Prices are going to go through the roof because there is a lot of restriction as far as shipping is concerned. Freight costs has gone really high in the last, I would say, 3 or 6 months. Freight costs has actually tripled, and they're going to go even higher. The sad thing about it all is that we don't know when it's going to level out or pan out.
Smith's advice to Bahamians at this time, greater financial responsibility.
They just tell persons, they have to be frugal. This may be the time to be economically responsible. Try to see if you can focus on your needs as opposed to the luxuries. And you have to plan today for whatever tomorrow may bring. We are very uncertain as to what tomorrow may bring.
Smith adds that at this time, her business has not experienced any shortages and that she is currently meeting with various suppliers.
I'm resourceful and I always think futuristically and I always try to have a contingency plan. And I am just an avid planner. I always plan for tomorrow. However, there are a lot of persons within our country that are last-minute individuals.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
In other news, a business owner is sharing how one act of violence at her establishment resulted in its closure for a short stint, and now she has to deal with a decline in sales. She's making an appeal to young men tonight to find alternative means to resolve conflict. Just a few weeks ago, a video went viral on social media showing a stabbing incident in a bar and restaurant in the bazaar that left one young man injured and 2 more charged before the court. Co-owner of Freedom Lounge, Kenesha Solomon, says it is behaviors like this that creates a problem for small businesses in the entertainment sector. She says this fight has left a major impact on the business, forcing them to close down for a short stint.
Well, the experience, you know, when things happen, people they scared to come around, and it really took away a lot from us. You know, this is a family business, our livelihood, and it really took away a lot.
Solomon says while the crowd is slowly coming back, they took the time to revamp their organization by making major renovations, but more importantly, tightening security.
We have persons here on the property to make sure that everybody is safe. We have measures like, you know, we don't want you to come here with no dragging slippers and t-shirts and stuff like that. Yeah, they doing the pat down, they checking they patting down, make sure you don't have no objects on you, anything, pens or whatever it is, anything sticky, they take it from you. Just making sure you don't bring no dangerous weapon or anything.
Freedom Lounge opened its doors 2 years ago and caters to a young crowd downstairs and a mature crowd in the upstairs area. But the club owner says these types of behaviors are happening too frequently, as there are some young men who constantly go out wreaking havoc and damaging the reputation of hardworking business owners in the process.
When you go there, you got to know how to conduct and act. You got to behave, because at the end of the day, when you get yourself in trouble, only you could be there. You know what I mean? Only you. Your family may be there, but they only could be there for so long with you. But when you go up there, it don't make no sense. It just don't make no sense. You know, because at the end of the day, and then with the business part of it, you got to remember, when you put stuff like this on person's business, you got to remember your family may have business too. You don't want no one to bring that to your family. You may want to open up a business one day. You don't want stuff like that to happen. You know what I mean? But I know things like this could happen anywhere. But just try to, if you know you hard-headed or anything that makes you angry and whatever, you just try to calm down and leave it alone, walk away. The best thing to do is walk away.
The business owner is also apologizing to the family and the victim who was injured in the incident, as she remains hopeful that a situation like this never happens again. Meantime, a scary situation unfolding at a business establishment in Smiths Point on Thursday night. According to police, a male armed with a firearm approached the proprietor of the business establishment and demanded cash. The owner fled the location and observed a male who exited a maroon 4-door vehicle who left with an undetermined amount of cash.
It's also reported that the proprietor would have fled that location, and he would observe the male who would have exited a maroon 4-door Honda vehicle, would have removed his cash tin from under the counter where he left it with an undetermined amount of cash. He also stated that the male would have returned to the vehicle, and before getting inside, he would discharge 1 round into the air, and have left at a high rate of speed heading into the north direction on East Beach Drive. We can say that the vehicle, the 4-door Honda vehicle, it was reported stolen the night prior, and will be the same vehicle used in the armed robbery incident.
Now, take a look at your screen carefully. Police say 2 men were caught on camera attempting to break into a vehicle on the Gambler Loop subdivision. Police are also investigating this matter.
2 young men who were trying to gain access to that vehicle. It was also reported that they would have gained access to another vehicle at a different location where they were stolen a number of food items and fled at that area. Like I said, we are following some leads, and hopefully bring those matters to a close very quickly. We are now nearing the Christmas season. We want to urge the general public to be extremely careful as you move about the streets of Grand Bahama. Be aware of your surroundings. Do not leave valuables inside of your vehicles unattended or keys in your ignition unattended. There are persons who may be looking to commit offenses and see a crime of opportunity. So we urge the general public to please, let's help and minimize the criminal activity on the island by just practicing some safety protocols. As you will see, we have officers going around to different business establishments and residents, advising them on the safety protocols and how to secure their business and also their residents. And we hope that the persons out there will adhere to the advice given.
Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Come on down. Come on down. Now.
Come on down to World Wholesale on Queens Highway in the Bamboo East Complex, opposite Yeager Funeral Home, where we sell the highest quality hurricane impact windows, doors, metal roofs, and hurricane shutters at the best prices you can find. Visit our store Monday to Friday from the hours of...
Hi, I am Corporal 3230 Perez Demerit of the Traffic Division, Grand Bahama. You can prevent a serious traffic accident by practicing safe driving. Here are a few traffic safety tips. Obey all traffic signals and traffic signs. Wear your seatbelt at all times. Reduce your speed and drive with due care and attention. Pull over to answer your cell phone, send a text message, or attend to any distractions, such as kids, pets, reading the newspaper, or eating. Finally, do not drink and drive. If you plan on drinking, use a designated driver. After all, it's all about creating safer communities.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy. When she licking her lips and moving them hips like, come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 F.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Next week, it will be a week-long celebration here in the North as the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, ZNS Northern Service, observes 31 years of television broadcasting. Special programming will begin as soon as Monday, November 1st, as the corporation will host a number of chit-chats and special interviews with past and present employees. Ramiko Knowles reports.
November 5th marks 31 years of television broadcasting in the North for ZNS. In light of the milestone, a committee was formed to host a week of events. Committee Chairman Brando Stewart says the week-long celebrations will commence with the radio chit-chat honoring past and present employees.
We've come up with the idea to have a few chit-chats on the radio side with some of those former employees so that they'll be able to tell their story every 2 to 3 in the afternoons, so that they'll be able to give us an idea of what they did and what happened back in those days, 31 years ago. So we will have those for the entire week.
At the end of the work week, employees will commemorate the occasion by wearing T-shirts highlighting 31 years of broadcasting. A photo shoot and staff luncheon will also take place.
On Sunday, we anticipate going to a church. We anticipate going to the New Life Worship Center. I'm sure we'll be invited there, being that our former employee, Pastor Simeon Oughton, worked here in the North, worked also in television. And so we will go there and celebrate with the members at 9 o'clock at that church. We will also have our front lobby area decorated, as well as our new set highlighting our 31st year of existence.
Stewart adds that throughout the week, social media teams will also engage the public with trivia questions about the corporation. In addition, he says, after 31 years, ZNS North is delighted to provide quality service for the many more that is to come.
So we hope that the next 31 years that we improve and bring an even better product to the Grand Bahama community as we were doing for the past 31 years.
Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Well, for the past several months, a group led by spiritual leader Shelley Shepherd has been meeting to pray for the island and the nation. This coming Sunday, a number of prayer warriors from Kingdom Worship Center, Calvary Temple, Assemblies of God, Dr. Sue Darville, and Nelson Bain Ministries, among others, will join together to lift this country in prayer. Spiritual leader Shelley Shepherd is the organizer.
This coming Sunday, we're going to be on the park at 6 p.m. and we have some strong warriors that are going to be petitioning God and taking dominion over the powers of darkness that is hindering or stopping the move of God for Grand Bahama. We have a hot anointed praise and worship team that's going to be ushering the presence of God on that park. And after the prayer and the praise and worship, then we're going to be delighting in some refreshments. I'm hoping that I can get some crab salad in that, but we're going to see how the Lord permits.
Well, she says marriages, government, pastors, young men, the church, and the economy will be the focus.
Folks, you don't want to miss this one. It's the last one, and we believe God has heard the prayers of those remnant that was there these past 7 months. We recognize that the motorcade that took place last month and the prayer on the park, the decline of COVID has taken place. We've had about 2 or 3 other teams that went in before us, but the Lord gave instructions to do the motorcade, and now we recognize that the decline of the COVID patients are down. And so we're expecting God to come and pour out his spirit upon the park, rejuvenating, the body of Christ at large. And we want to make that appeal to the Lord. We want to cry out to him. We want to destroy and take back what the adversary have stolen.
Finally, in news this evening, she has been a beacon of hope, love, and inspiration throughout the Bahamas and on an international level, positively impacting many with her melodious voice and encouraging words on the airwaves, in writing and in person for years. 3 years ago, she was diagnosed with a neurological disorder. The cost of treatment and to travel for the doctor have been exorbitant, but close friends and family members of Divine Lady Vanessa Clark have come together to host a virtual medical benefit concert on October 31st, beginning at 8 p.m. Our Ramiko Knowles has the details.
Lead My Cause Volume 2 Going Through is the name of the virtual medical benefit concert for multi-award-winning singer, former journalist, and radio personality Vanessa Divine Lady Clark. Committee member and close friend Eustacia Jennings say that she is loved beyond words, and the concert is simply dubbed An Evening with Vanessa.
We're going to walk through her ministry, her life as a musician, as a journalist, the blessing that she's been to the body of Christ and to just people in general, and appeal to people to give on her behalf because she's in financial need of monies, but also prayers and support as she goes through this difficult time in her life.
The concert will be streaming live on Facebook and YouTube on the same fan pages. It will feature music videos by the anointed artist and collaborations with friends, highlighting her ministry and impact on the world.
She's collaborated with a lot of other musicians. She started out with Harmonious Praise. She worked with The Fam. So we'll feature some of the older music. And then when she moved to Grand Bahama, she connected with Tony Lowe, Stacey Deems, and Dora those. So some of her newer music, after she even became ill, she started producing even more music, writing music and producing videos up until like the day before she had her brain aneurysm and stroke. She released a new song.
In addition to the achievements, States. Jennings says what is most inspiring about Clark is that despite her condition, she is still the same loving person day in and out.
Her faith is unwavering no matter what she's going through. She calls it her faith walk, and she's going through it with joy, with peace, and with, I don't even understand it, where she gets it from. Her spirit is so, it's just contagious. It's infectious. You know, the minute you walk in the room and you see her, she's like, don't cry, no crying. And then you just burst out laughing.
Vanessa's condition has deteriorated. A recent set of new health challenges resulted in an emergency airlift and surgery in New Providence in August of this year. She is now back home and is grateful to everyone for their support.
Good night, everybody. I am so overwhelmed by the love and support that I've received from all of you. I can't thank you enough. It's been a rough ride, a tough journey, but what gave me strength from day to day was knowing that God was on my side. And I want to thank all of you who have embarked on this journey with me through prayer, through words of encouragement, and lots of love. That's how I made it. That's how I'm making it.
This remarkable woman is not only in need of prayers and love, but also financial support. For Miko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
Thank you, Ramiko. Now, donations can be made to Vanessa Clark, Scotiabank Freeport. The branch number is 80515. The savings account number is 4020600. Stay with us. We will be back right after this.
End of summer sale with 25% off excluding underwear and red tag items. Sales racks up to 50% off. October 27th, 28th, 29th, and the 30th.
The Ministry of Health.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
I'm Rita Johnson. You are our Facebook friend of the day. We thank you for your support. And this one also goes out to Bronwyn Smith, the lovely wife of Reno Smith. We trust that you are having a wonderful birthday. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Parkinson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, bright spots on the local economic scene. Efforts to retain nurses and help wanted, an all-inclusive resort on the hunt for a few good men and women. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Super Fast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lapinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. The Prime Minister forecasting growth in the local economy after some lean years. He was addressing Parliament this week when he previewed the forecast provided by the government's financial experts.
The Bahamian economy has emerged from a steep double-digit contraction in 2020 and is poised to achieve some gains in real growth in 2021. Both the IMF and the technical experts at the Ministry of Finance forecast a return to positive real growth of roughly 2% in 2021, increasing to 8% in 2022, with a return to trend growth of 1.5% by 2026. Now, while this forecast is in line with the one presented in the May budget, we believe it does not represent a significant enough increase in growth to sufficiently reduce unemployment, enhance living standards, and return the burden of public death to more sustainable levels.
Meantime, Prime Minister Davis says since assuming office, priority has been on building confidence with key partners.
Since assuming office, both the Minister of Economic Affairs and the Financial Secretary have been holding meetings with rating agencies, financial institutions, and lenders to carry the message that the risk of default is non-existent, and this administration is ready to guide the nation back to fiscal stability.
The cruise and charter markets holds great potential, and the numbers prove it. Back in 2017, Global Newswire pegged the value of the industry in the region at $22 billion, and this figure is expected to increase and exceed $35 billion by 2026. Locally, yachting fees are about $1.7 million and charter fees $43 million based on submissions. The cruise and charter market then, not only high-end, but recession-proof. Tourism, Investments and Aviation Minister, the Honorable Chester Cooper, boasting that even through the pandemic, the Bahamas was able to attract many yachts and boats. He accepts, though, that there is room for expansion.
This is a good target market for us. It's a high-end market. And I like to build out Exuma as the yachting capital of the hemisphere. And therefore, I'm hoping that we will tap more deeply into this market. We will get more benefits from this business. The benefit from this industry to the Bahamas, as I outlined, is significant. We contribute from this niche significant revenues, but I only think we're touching the tip of the iceberg.
Well, you can get much more than a fill-up at the newest Rubis on the block. The Gladstone Road location officially opened Thursday, fulfilling what may call the Bahamian dream for an ambitious group of local business owners. Here's Keishla Adderley with the story.
Cutting the ribbon to the newest Rubis franchise on Gladstone Road Thursday, the latest venture which took partner Merit Store back in history.
RBC Royal Bank Bahamas Limited financed the opening of our first location at Faith Avenue back in 2000. They lent us $150,000 in startup costs at a time when banks were not enthusiastic about lending to petroleum industry retailers. They have been our primary bankers ever since. And when we advised them of our plans for this location, they did not hesitate to step forward and offer to fund this multi-million-dollar project. The directors of JML Group appreciate the confidence shown in a couple of Bahamian men from humble beginnings.
More than a fill-up, the superstation is cooking with gas, providing convenient services, all led by local principals, as partner Ethan Moss points out.
Foreign direct investment, Rubis, coupled with Bahamian partnership, is a model that can help us build our country if we apply ourselves appropriately. I think that this is quite a great synergistic blend of partners. Rubis, Bamboo, Lewis and St. Scotia, Cashingo, Bank of the Bahamas. These are all Bahamian partnerships.
It's something Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis supports, likening it to the ideal relationship between a government and its people.
If your business and your business mantra is to be successful, not by metrics, but by how you make your employees feel, how you grow your employees, and how you interact with the community in which your business exists and thrive, you too will thrive. I often say that governments and successive governments, and that's why I was so moved by your story, because it reminded me too, that the success of our country is not to be measured by the metrics. Very often you say, well, the GDP, there's growth. The GDP grew by 2%, and so we were successful. But if you identify, when you extract where that growth was, you would quite often find that the growth was not where it was most needed, and that is amongst the vulnerable amongst us.
You can now get Bamboo Shack while on the go. CEO Elaine Pinder, proud to be part of the vision.
Bamboo Shack is certainly pleased to be a part of this venture, which is a new level of comprehensive service and conveniences to our valued customers. We thank you, Jamel Investments, Rubis, and all those who work to bring this idea to life.
The fusion of franchises and businesses are expected to draw a wide cross-section of customers, but this one in particular has assured his support.
Every time I need gasoline, and as I come into Tall Pines, I'll make sure that I hold off until I come to this station. So I want to thank you.
Keishla Adderley, ZNS Network News.
Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, spent the better part of this week in Rome, Italy, attending the 10th Italian, Latin American and Caribbean Conference. It's the first such meeting since the COVID pandemic, and as Minister Mitchell notes, one that's crucial to dialogue on key current issues, including climate change.
It's particularly important because Italy is the head of the G20, and so they have some influence on the other members of the rich club. That essentially they run the world. And so we are making the best case we can as small island developing states on issues of climate change. You know, our Prime Minister is traveling to Glasgow in a couple of weeks to make the case for the Bahamas on climate change, and also on the question of how debt financing and how we're going to finance mitigation and adaptation as a result of climate change.
Now, during the trip, Minister Mitchell is also due to attend meetings in the United Kingdom as the Bahamas seeks to secure a seat on the International Maritime Organization Council.
But I'm stopping in London for a campaign for the Bahamas to get on the International Maritime Organizations Council. The vote comes up in December, and Jamaica and ourselves are holding a joint promotion in a couple of days to try and get the votes we need to win the election again on the council.
Okay, how is it looking?
The diplomatic staff of the Bahamas Embassy in Haiti are back home. As Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell told our news team that decision was made out of an abundance of caution, along with the government's grave concern over the deteriorating security situation on that island. Now, while the Bahamas Embassy will be temporarily closed, Mitchell says the security attachés remain in Haiti to assist with monitoring Haiti's ongoing situation. In recent weeks, armed gangs have been behind kidnappings. Among the 17 missionaries taken are 5 children. The general. Remember to tune in to the morning edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Welcome to a world where hope is still loud, where dreams are still relevant, and determination has no substitute. Welcome to a nation where the people are still warm, resilient, and innovative. And Commonwealth Bank is at the center of it all, giving innovation and progress an extra push for more than 60 years. We're here for Bahamians because we are Bahamian. Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking services.
KFC Saucy Wings gives you the choice. A precisely calculated chicken to sauce ratio for that perfect wing experience. Or a totally wild, completely coated sauce adventure that transcends traditional flavor boundaries. Whatever your choice, get sauced with KFC Saucy Wings for the perfect amount of flavor. Saucy Wings at KFC Nassau. So good.
Across the Bahamas, we're more connected than ever before as we upgrade and expand our network, elevating your connection with BTC Superfast Fiber Internet. More people can access the best high-speed internet on our upgraded all-fiber optic network, providing you with a better experience working remotely, learning virtually, accessing more from home, and connecting with more opportunities. Visit our website or any store to upgrade to our super-fast fiber internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
ISL Bahamas is a software development company. We provide payroll software and services for over 500 companies. Using ISL Payroll, our clients are able to produce accurate and timely national insurance contribution statements for posting to their NIB accounts. The beauty in NIB's employer self-service portal is that our clients have the power to upload these statements directly into NIB's system, eliminating the manual process which results in delay in posting to our client's account. We are working hand in hand with NIB to ensure that our clients are registered for the ESS portal and know how to use it. I look forward to further technology, innovation, and progress from NIB. You should sign up today at ess@nib-bahamas.com.
Yo, from accounts.
Appreciate it.
Bro, what happened? I thought you all vaccinated people supposed to be invincible.
No, bro. Fully vaccinated people still could catch COVID-19.
Wow. See? That's why it don't make no sense taking it. Don't get it.
Okay, let's look at it like this. You could wear a seatbelt and still get in an accident, right?
All right.
You could exercise, drink smoothies, eat healthy, and still get sick.
What's the point?
Nothing is 100%. Plus, the majority of the breakthrough cases in those fully vaccinated were either asymptomatic or had mild symptoms.
Pull up the website and let me make my appointment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
PAHO Assistant Director Dr. Rubis Barbosa disclosing during Wednesday's press briefing that over the last week, the Americas reported over 800,000 new COVID infections and 18,000 COVID-related deaths, the lowest such figures in over a year. But while good reason to be optimistic, PAHO Assistant Director Barbosa stresses the need to remain vigilant.
Across North, Central, and South America, COVID infections and deaths are decreasing, with a few exceptions. Belize is reporting a sharp jump in COVID-related deaths, and Paraguay saw a doubling of COVID cases in the last week. Many of the Caribbean's larger islands are seeing downward trends, including Cuba, which for months has been managing a large COVID outbreak. But some smaller islands are just now reaching their first pandemic peaks. St. Kitts and Nevis, Barbados, Anguilla and St. Vincent and the Grenadines are now reporting their highest number of COVID infections and COVID-related deaths. That's why it's critical that countries continue to implement public health measures.
At last count, nearly 44% of people in Latin America and the Caribbean had completed their COVID immunization. Yes, the region has done a great job in this regard. Still, figures show that more than half of the people in Latin America and the Caribbean remain unprotected.
In Guatemala, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Jamaica, Nicaragua, and Haiti, less than 20% of people have been fully vaccinated. But the good news is that over 3 million more doses will arrive in our region through COVAX this week. And deliveries are expected to pick up in these final months of the year, so we can continue to address one of the biggest challenges affecting our region, vaccine inequity.
Health officials are looking to record gains on more than just the COVID front, but in ongoing efforts to retain nurses. It's with that in mind that Health and Wellness Minister, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darvin, recently met with executives of the Nurses Union.
We would have some tough discussions in terms of their increments, how we're going to provide a better environment for them to work in. You know, when you're a professional, and what's amazing, you know, some of us who've had the opportunity to seek healthcare services in the United States, We meet sometimes our nurses on the ward in South Florida. And what's amazing about it, they fall right into the system in providing the top quality healthcare. And so the system needs to be changed, and the infrastructure is absolutely essential in order for the system to work.
The Minister of Health went on to issue this appeal.
But we are also pleading to our nurses to give us an opportunity to begin to make some changes and to stay in the system as we begin to build our country and take our healthcare infrastructure from where it is today to a modern healthcare infrastructure that all of us will be proud of. And this is the direction our administration is committed in going.
Labor relations back on track after reportedly being strained headed into the general elections. The new director of labor telling ZNS News he's charged with amicably resolving the many outstanding issues. Carla Palmer reports.
As a veteran trade unionist with more than 40 years of experience, the government is relying on the expertise of its chosen director of labor, Robert Farquharson, to still the troubled waters of the trade union movement heading into the September 16th general election of 2021.
Prior to September the 16th, there appeared to be very little or no communication between the trade union movement and the government. The labor relations prior to the general election were strained because the previous administration appeared to have eliminated regular dialogue with the trade union movement, which in my view, was a direct violation of ILO Convention 144, which speaks to social dialogue on international labor standards. There were a cadre of issues that trade unions had. They were unable to get an audience with government officials, and as a result, it resulted in a number of disruptions in the labor market and the industrial relations environment in the Bahamas.
Having served as an executive of the National Tripartite Council for some 3 years prior to the general election, Farquharson was privy to vital information in the labor environment.
Because the trade unions were represented at the council, their complaints came directly to the NTC. And it was extremely difficult for us to maintain industrial harmony because all the unions were asking for was an opportunity to be heard. All they were asking for is for a chance to sit down with the government officials in critical industries, in the hotel and in tourism sector, in the healthcare sector. We had doctors and nurses having regular demonstrations. We had teachers having issues. We had members of the public service having issues. And they had issues simply because they were unable to gather an audience for their grievances to be heard. And that's critically important to industrial relations in our country because a stable industrial relations environment speaks well to our economy and speaks well to investors. And if they see there is peace and harmony in the labor market, that foreign direct investors tend to move toward our country because they know they will be able to get a return on their investments. In fact, one of the maximums of production is labor. And if you don't have labor involved in discussions, you are unable to produce any product or services.
With rebuilding trust and communication within the labor market and the industrial relations environment of the Bahamas his charge, like the fastest racehorse out of the gate, Farquharson, since reappointed to the post on September 27th, is running the track to win over trade relations.
Since my reappointment and the mandate given to me by the Honorable Minister of Labor and Immigration, there has been a resurgence in the level of communication within the trade union movement and between the trade union movement and the government of the Bahamas.
In fact, Farquharson says he and the Labor Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, have met with almost every labor union leader in the country so far.
The minister himself has made a commitment to the trade union movement to have an open door policy. There has been a commitment to have quarterly meetings with the umbrella trade union organization. And the director of labor, myself, has been charged with meeting with individual trade unions to identify the cadre of issues that has been outstanding for years and to work aggressively to have those issues addressed in a timely manner.
Farquharson says the government is taking a multifaceted approach to addressing issues in the short, medium, and long term, setting a timeline to meeting all its goals and objectives. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Meantime, officials from the Department of Labor and the Department of Statistics in the process of finalizing plans for a labor force survey in order to get a clearer picture of the unemployment levels across the country. The last time a labor force survey was conducted was over 2 years ago.
It's important for the government of Bahamas to know what their levels are so they can create policies to reduce those levels. But rest assured that the Department of Labor is in discussions as we speak with the Department of Statistics to facilitate that, and we expect the labor force survey to be conducted over the next few weeks, and once the results are ascertained, it'll go to the cabinet for a public announcement. The last time a labor force survey was conducted was in November of 2019. That was pre-Dorian and pre-COVID-19. And so we don't want to use those statistics. But we expect, hopefully, by the end of the fourth quarter of this year, we should have the proper stats.
The Department of Labor teams up with Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort to host a job fair this Saturday at the Labor Department's Rosetta Street headquarters. The job fair takes place from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Sandals is looking to hire qualified Bahamians ahead of its reopening in January. Some 200 positions are available here in New Providence, while employment opportunities also exist at Sandals Emerald Bay in Exuma. Here's Sandals General Manager Surinder Kalan.
Some of the number is our existing team that's coming back to us. So that then reduces new hires, but it's about 850 in total that we will be employing. So that's the total count. And practically 99% of our team is actually from the Bahamas itself. And we believe there's a strong database of individuals that are available. And so we believe this is extremely important. And once again, we thank the department for calling us, reaching out to us, having these discussions with us, and in depth taking a look at what the positions are, and then I'm 100% assured that we will see some very, very good and excellent candidates this Saturday.
Labor Minister, the Honorable Keith Bell, urges job seekers to attend.
Get ready, come out on Saturday. I will be here, the director will be here, and I'm certainly some of the senior management staff of Sandals will be here to meet you and make sure that we put you in the best possible position for employment. Please take full advantage of this opportunity. And I will hasten to add during the job fair that social distancing and COVID protocols will be enforced. And so please come early, please bring your resumes, and of course be ready to be employed by Sandals.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
Teachers across the islands of the Bahamas are preparing their students to join and conquer the tourism and hospitality industry. Here's a look into how they're preparing the next generation of industry professionals.
In the Bahamas, we all know that tourism is our #1 industry. 75 cents out of every dollar, as COVID-19 would have taught us, is directly derived from tourism. It is important for our students especially the ones in the hospitality and tourism studies departments within our senior high schools, to get a feel for what is happening with industry. Therefore, we do have a partnership with hotels like Bahamar. CC Sweeting is a partnership with Sandals, and they come in and do either demonstrations for students or virtual interactions with students, so that they get a feel for the front office area, for the housekeeping area, for food and beverage, which is really the crux of whatever's going on in any hotel. People come here to experience our culture, and that's where our industry partners come in. The Bahamas Culinary Federation of Chefs, they participate in a culinary conference where they share their expertise free of charge with our students and teachers, and this serves to elevate what is taking place in the classroom. We have students, food nutrition students participating, and also the hospitality and tourism studies students. All right, they within our programs, they are getting the basics. They are learning about nutrition. They are learning about the different food products and even how they grow. So there's a little bit of some of our programs have started little kitchen gardens and that kind of thing. So it's really about the next generation.
If you want to learn more about the tourism and hospitality industry, visit tourismtoday.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
Life is better with Rubis Rewards. Just fuel up and swipe for your chance to win free fuel, cash back in our stores, restaurant and store discounts from our partners, plus prizes and surprises. It doesn't get better than this. Your Rubis Reward tag is free at every Rubis service station in New Providence. Get yours today. Rubis, it's just better.
Transfer money internationally now through the Cash and Go mobile wallet. It is easy and secure with no wait lines, as you can transfer funds at your convenience even from the comfort of your home. Send and receive money with no restrictive times, and use your debit or credit card if you want to go cashless at no additional cost. All transactions are saved in the mobile wallet, and there is 24/7 in-app support. Cash and Go's mobile wallet, now with international transfer. Easy, simple, safe, and secure.
Having a policy with Bahama Health is more than just health insurance. It's about feeling good knowing that your health and wellness is covered. It's about the confidence you feel knowing that your card is accepted by over 50 pharmacies and 400 local doctors. It's about peace of mind, knowing that when you travel, you have comprehensive coverage and our overseas partner is just a phone call away. It's about the security you feel, knowing that you're an important part of the family.
Join the family.
The public education system plagued with a critical shortage of teachers. Education Minister, the Honorable Glenys Hannah Martin, says it's one of the challenges she and her team are focusing on to determine how best to correct this. The plan calls for using the virtual school coupled with this.
The strategic recruitment of specialized teachers and the revitalization of the Teachers Cadet Program. We will do all that is possible to ensure the education of our children will not suffer because of this. The plan for continuation of learning calls for a multifaceted approach that involves careful planning at all levels as we account for every eventuality.
Minister of State for Social Services and Urban Development and Member of Parliament for Marathon, the Honorable Lisa Ramming, making a generous donation to Prayer and Deliverance Ministries leader Lawrence Roll. This following a video going viral on social media with Bishop Roll making an urgent plea to the public for help amid operational challenges. The Marathon MP heeded the call and presented the bishop with a large handmade cooking grill along with cash. During the presentation, Ramming applauded Bishop Roll for his continued efforts in assisting the poor, particularly those in the Marathon community. She challenged others, including her cabinet colleagues, to do their part in giving back. Overwhelmed with gratitude, Bishop Roll thanked Ramming and her team for their continued support. As we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us There's more after the break.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
Watch them grow and make plans for them even before they're old enough to talk. You spend a lifetime of sacrifice to pave the way for their success and create a tomorrow you too can be proud of. Can you tell who is the investor? At Leno, we believe everyone who has ever put a penny aside for a future dream is an investor. If you're new to investing, Leno's financial experts stand ready to design plans based on your goals. Let's sit down and explore the options one-on-one and see how, together, we can make your dreams come true. Whether considering traditional investments like a new home, car, your own business, security in retirement, or your child's college fund, we take the confusion out of the process and make an investor out of you. Call 396-3225 for an appointment. Leno, your bridge to the future.
The past is what drives us, but it is no more. In it, we learn valuable lessons about where we came from. The future is what we aspire to, but it is yet to be written. Thinking about it allows us to plan for a better tomorrow. The present is the only thing we possess right now. It is the moment when we rise to the occasion, so that we stand in the beauty and wonder of who we are. Where our strength really matters, because our resilience speaks for itself. We plan for where we are today, a strong company, a powerful network, built by the people, for the people, because we believed in best, because we lived for the moments, and we delivered. You know what we were, and now you get to see who we are. We are alive.
Parliament opens, which means a new agenda for education. 2 ministers with passion for education and the development of our youth. The Honourable Glenys Hannah Martin and the Minister of State, the Honourable Zane Lightbourne. Minister Lightbourne shares his vision for education.
I'm looking forward to legislation, education, the new Education Act will be enforced. We are looking forward to that. Also moving education out of the public service, because we realize the giant of the public service creates a bureaucracy that frustrates teachers, frustrates other educators, managers, administrators. We want to be able to manage our HR matters. We want to be able to bring new curriculum and force to cause students to have an appreciation for not only our culture and the ministry, but to get an appreciation for savings in the economy and regular day life. So we're looking for the part of technical vocational training to be expanded and all of the new systems that we plan to put in place to cause that to happen.
The state minister stresses the importance of stakeholder involvement in the education process.
I think that all of our stakeholders need to understand that this is a journey. We're going to need all hands on deck. So parents who have not been involved before in their children's lives would have to now be very much involved in this process. We have persons at the Ministry of Education who will do their part to make sure that we supply our teachers with the necessary equipment, with the necessary support that they would need in order to impart quality education to our children.
I'm Adama Williams for Ed Talk. Want to stay in the know? Subscribe. Text 819-BMOE. That's 819-2663. Remember to like and subscribe to our social media platforms.
Breast cancer is the leading cause of cancer deaths in the Bahamas and in Bahamian women. At present, we are unable to prevent breast cancer, but performing screening mammograms can detect breast cancer at its earliest when there are no symptoms and when it is more likely to be treated successfully. All women should have a primary health care provider who is aware of their medical history, family history, and risk factors. Women 40 to 45 years can choose whether to start screening in consultation with their physician. All women 45 to 54 years should have an annual mammogram. Women older than 55 years can have a yearly mammogram or choose to have one every 2 years. Monthly breast self-exams in conjunction with the mammogram can increase the odds of early detection. Be proactive about your health.
Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Investments and Aviation Minister, the Honourable Chester Cooper, keeping a pulse on investment developments in his constituency. One of them, the resort project on Children's Bay Key, whose principals, the minister says, are still keenly interested.
It's taken a while, and I know the people of Barataria are getting bored with it. But the good news is that the 200 million has increased now fairly significantly by another 100 million. And the even better news is that it's going to happen. It's not pie in the sky. And the even better news is that they got their own money. So we had this saying, show me the money. They've shown us the money. And it's just now a matter of launching and completing the design. One of my top priorities, therefore, is to shepherd this project out of the pipeline.
Students at eco schools across the country doing their part to protect our future. The Bahamas Reef Environment Educational Foundation, or BREEF, recently held a virtual coordinators workshop to promote the importance of protecting biodiversity and environmental sustainability in the Bahamas. During the event, experts discussed various topics, including supporting the creation of marine protected areas, re-embracing heritage crops to achieve food security, and improving health in a warming climate. BREEF has been running eco schools in the Bahamas since 2009. The program promotes environmental stewardship by creating an awareness of local and global environmental challenges. The eco schools program is part of a global project supporting student environmental leaders in over 68 countries. Here at home, 38 government and private schools are part of the project. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishla. Outside of our studios, we're under cloudy skies with some light rain showers taking place. Temperature 79 degrees. Relative humidity at 88%. The winds out of the west-southwest at 10 miles per hour. The barometric pressure, 1,009.6 millibars. That's 29.81 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the Atlas this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 81 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Tool, Key, and Marsh Harbor in Abaco, the Berry Islands, 84. 84. 84 also in Alistown, Bimini. Harbor Island, 85. Rock Sound, Eleuthera, 81 degrees. Black Point, Exuma at 86. Also Kemp Space, Andros, and Fresh Creek and Central Andros, all at 86 degrees. Otterstown, Cat Island, San Salvador, Rumkey, and Georgetown, Exuma reporting 81s, 85 in Ragged Island, Clarence, Styling Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megwana, 84, Acklands, 84, Matchitown, Nagawet, 85, and the Turks and Caicos Islands, 84 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwest and Central Islands tonight through Saturday, you can anticipate a westerly flow at 15 to 25 knots, very rough sea conditions at 5 to 8 feet. So advisories are in place for boaters both in the Northwest and Central Islands through tomorrow. Low tide, 9:34 this evening. Another low tide at 9:36 tomorrow morning for the southeast. Bombers through Saturday, south to southwest winds 10 to 15 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And as we take you into Sunday, for all areas, the winds become northwest, falling off 10 to 15 knots, wave heights down 2 to 4 feet. Low tide at 10:37 in the morning, high tide at 4:48 in the afternoon. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I ain't going back. No. I ain't going back. No. I done had one heart attack, so I ain't going back. I ain't going back. No, I ain't going back. She done give me heart attack, Jack. I ain't going back. It's not often I get the chance to have what I call a real romance. Hugging and kissing all the time.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
In my bedroom, eating off my plate, you know I ain't going.
Shop for sweet savings at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Kellogg's assorted cereals, family size, $4.99. Rainbow evaporated milk, large, 2 for 99 cents. Campbell's vegetable soup, 10.5 ounce, 2 for $2.25. Red, green, or black seedless grapes, $2.99 per pound. Bone-in chicken breast, $1.79 per pound. Open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. That's Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
This portion of the news brought to you by Genuine Care, keeping you home while you're away.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The impact the Bahamas has on track and field resonates not just here at home, but around the world. During his courtesy call on Minister Bolag, NACAC Regional Secretary General Keith Joseph acknowledged that the Bahamas has made its mark.
The history and the legacy of your participation in our sport is one of which the entire region is decidedly proud. We consider the Bahamas as equally important as the United States or Canada or Jamaica in the development of sport and in their achievements. Because when we compare the achievements of Bahamian athletes relative to population size, then you recognize that the achievements of your athletes are monumental and critical for the people of the Bahamas.
Joseph also highlighted the recent accomplishments of Stephen Gardner and Shawnee Milawibo. He says their impact will be felt for generations to come.
the Bahamas has enjoyed the 2 gold medals in the 400 meters at the Tokyo Olympics. And it provides an impetus for young people to be able to see one of each gender making strides at that international level, so that our boys and girls can look forward to continuing a tradition that can only bolster the image of the country at an international level.
And in NFL news, Bahamian Mike Strawn looking to overcome the omen of Halloween and secure more playing time on Sunday when his 3-4 Indianapolis Colts take on the 5-2 Tennessee Titans. Strawn, playing the wide receiver position, has seen limited action in the Colts' 2-game winning streak. They will play host to the Titans on Sunday at 1 p.m. at Lucas Oil Stadium.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
COVID-19 attacked our personal and national psyche. We fought back. We adjusted our consciousness so that we could wrap our minds around the impossible and unbelievable things we were going through. But guess what? Nobody escaped. That means there was nobody who was too pretty, too cute, too important, too holy, or too rich to escape the mental trauma and battering of COVID-19. We can allow COVID-19 to destroy us or defeat us, or we can make a decision right now to act in a manner that supports wellness for ourselves and for the nation. So let's act to restore and sustain our personal sense of well-being and our national mental health status. We're all involved. It's that important.
No debate. Best rate, no debate.
BTC gives more savings on the best fiber internet. It's super fast with super savings in every package. Compare and see for yourself. Enjoy the best home internet experience for all your work, study, and entertainment.
Best rate, no debate. Best rate, no debate.
Visit a BTC store to sign up for the best internet experience on the Bahamas' best fiber network.
Our marine resources were once considered inexhaustible. Conch and reef fish like grouper were abundant everywhere, and it seemed as if the lobster catch would rise forever. But today, there is a downward trend that affects everyone. Researchers say we can reverse the trend by protecting more marine habitats. And the good news is that most Bahamians strongly support efforts to halt further decline. Tripling the size of our network of marine parks will mean more fish and conch for everyone now and for the future, as well as more recreational and ecotourism opportunities. Today, only 10% of our waters are protected. Surveys show that most Bahamians consider protection of our marine environment to be a top national priority. More protection means more benefits for everyone, now and in the future. It's a win-win-win strategy for the economy, for Bahamians, and for nature. Protect our sea, protect our way of life, protect the Bahamas. See the future. Visit Bahamas Protected on Facebook to learn more about marine protected areas.
Do you know that adherence is more than taking medications? It calls to you to stick to the medical regimen as prescribed by your healthcare provider. Please keep your lab appointments, as these determine the effects medications are having on your body. Follow-up doctor's appointments are necessary, as this is the time when the doctor performs a physical examination and discusses any test results and any concerns or issues you may have with your course of treatment. Sticking to prescribed diet and exercise regimens can improve medication effectiveness and contributes to overall health and well-being. Make a commitment today to be adherent to your medication regimen and practice healthy living.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas AIDS Foundation with funding provided by PEPFAR, USAID Local Capacity Initiative Small Grant.
Here are your COVID-19 isolation tips. Protecting others while in quarantine or self-isolation. While in quarantine or self-isolation, use safety measures to protect yourself and community from spreading COVID-19. Being in quarantine or self-isolation can make you feel anxious or stressed. Ensure that you take care of your emotions. Physical distancing does not mean socially disconnected. Stay connected with family and friends digitally. Keep a daily routine. Exercise daily, get rest, eat healthy, engage in activities, avoid unhealthy behaviors, and seek information from credible sources. You are not alone. Contact our hotline at 819-7652 or any of the numbers that appear on your screen.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, a non-tropical low several hundred miles to the south of Newfoundland continues to produce showers and thunderstorms, and it could take on some subtropical characteristics over the next couple of days. The chances of that happening stands anywhere between 20 and 30%. Satellite pictures are showing a frontal boundary smack across the capital, and that's producing the rain showers that we're currently experiencing. That will sit there for quite a while, so during the course of the night, there will be occasional showers taking place along that frontal boundary. We would not see any clearing until about tomorrow afternoon there. About our forecast for the night calls for cloudy conditions with a couple of drenching showers or possible thunderstorms. 75 degrees for your low temperature tonight, and tomorrow we are looking at some morning cloudiness and rain with possible thunderstorms, but by afternoon things will start to light up. You'll see the skies clearing up, and we will return to partly sunny and breezy conditions in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow, 85 degrees. Your extended weather forecast, we see better conditions on Sunday, and that will carry us into the early part of next week before cloudy conditions return on the midweek at Wednesday.
Well, thanks, Basil. The Cabinet Office advising the public that daylight saving time will end on Sunday, November 7th at 2 a.m. At that time, Eastern Standard Time will begin and will continue until 2 a.m. on Sunday, the 13th of March, 2022. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. And as we celebrate our 44th year of television broadcasting, it feels great to be your home. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.